This is CMN. This is Canadian MGTOW. Having fun, and not giving a shit. The past week was another hard week for Generation Snowflake. A message mocking students for grieving over Donald Trump's election victory is being investigated as a hate crime at Edgewood College. A campaign to let students express their feelings about the election outcome by placing notes on a table in the Commons went awry when one note bore the phrase, "Suck it up, pussies." Cue the sirens. Staff from the Student Conduct, Human Resources, Title IX, and Diversity offices were brought together so they could decide how to respond to the hateful message. They determined the message constituted a hate crime, and reported it to the police department. I'm shaking my head. Next up is proof that you can go full retard with diversity. Timothy Boatwright was born a girl, and checked off the female box when applying to the Massachusetts all-women's school, according to an article in the New York Times. But when he got there, he introduced himself as a masculine of center genderqueer person named Timothy, the name he picked for himself, and asked them to use male pronouns when referring to him. And, by all accounts, Boatwright felt welcome on campus, until the day he announced that he wanted to run for the school's Office of Multicultural Affairs Coordinator, whose job is to promote a culture of diversity on campus. But some students thought that allowing Boatwright to have the position would just perpetuate patriarchy. They were so opposed, that when the other three candidates, all women of color, dropped out, they started an anonymous Facebook campaign encouraging people not to vote at all to keep him from winning the position. So there you have it. A woman who transitioned into a white man is no longer diverse enough to be a college diversity officer. We can't end this segment without a Canadian story since stupidity knows no border. According to the Ontario Human Rights Commission, you could get fined for using misgendered pronouns. By purposely misgendering a transgender person, or not using their preferred pronouns such as ze or xa, would be considered discrimination and you could be liable to fines. Apparently the Chief Commissioner's remarks were apparently intended for a University of Toronto psychology professor who was in the news recently for refusing to use these new pronouns when referring to his students. Personally, I think I'll stick to my three standard pronouns: she, he, and it. I'm Canadian MGTOW. More news and my goddamn opinion later on this CMN station.